Good afternoon, class. Sorry I'm late. Please open your books and turn to page 63. Today, we're going to go over the cost benefits of owning an Ioniq EV.
So we're going to be talking about the Hyundai Ioniq full EV electric vehicle today. One of the key considerations when purchasing a vehicle is the TCO, or total cost of ownership. And for our calculations, we've considered the price of fuel and the expected fuel consumption, as well as the preventative maintenance cost that you can expect as you go forward. And just to share with you guys some of the variables that we have used in our calculations. The first point is the average weeks per month, which you can see up here is 4.3 weeks per month. An average working days of 5. We know some of you all have a lot more, we understand, but some of you have less. Average weekend usage is 40 kilometers a weekend. So you work 5 days a week, and then you have errands and other stuff that you need to do on the weekend. For the price of electricity, we have used 37 cents per kilowatt hour, which is currently the highest residential electricity price that you're going to find. The gasoline price for super, there's $4.97 per liter. And of course, in terms of the consumption figures, the EV consumption, we have used a fairly conservative consumption figure of 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers driven. And I say that's conservative because in my use of the EV for about 4,000 kilometers, it's been about 13.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. But of course, 15 is just to cater for persons with different driving styles and terrains that consume more power to drive. Fuel consumption on a hybrid, the Ioniq hybrid, we expect that you're going to experience somewhere within the vicinity of 6 liters per 100 kilometers driven. And why we say 6 liters, because even though it's rated to use less, we talk about what you actually use on a day-to-day basis. The fuel consumption for a regular 1.6 liter combustion driven sedan is going to be much more at about 10 liters per 100 kilometers driven. And then looking at our calculations in terms of total cost of ownership, right? We consider the fuel. Those are the 3 vehicles that we're working with: a 1.6 liter combustion sedan, Ioniq hybrid, the Ioniq EV. And our next point, we talk about the preventative maintenance costs that you can expect per year for all 3 vehicles. We've also considered 3 scenarios: a very high mileage scenario. In this case, we chose Princestown to Port of Spain, where you do about nearly 3,000 kilometers per month, almost 35,000 kilometers per year. A medium or average scenario, for example, Port of Spain to Arima every day, it's about 1,689 kilometers per month, just about 20,000 kilometers per year of driving. And then a relatively low usage of Diego Martin to Port of Spain every day, which is going to run you about 11,000 kilometers per year. So looking at the fuel charges and using the variables that I just showed you to calculate, we are talking in the combustion sedan spending about $1,400 per month, about $17,000 per year for the fuel charges on the sedan. On the hybrid, it's of course going to be less at about $850 per month, $10,000 per year. But on the EV, using the same kilowatt hours calculation that we mentioned before, it's about $160 a month, less than $2,000 a year to drive 35,000 kilometers a year. We've done the same calculations for the other scenarios, and as you can see, of course, expectedly, the EV is the winner every time. Looking at the preventative maintenance costs, just to say before we go into this, the electric vehicles require far less preventative maintenance. Of course, we're not talking oil and filter and any of the more complex mechanical diagnostics. It's really running the health of your battery, changing your pollen filter, looking at the alignment, looking at the suspension parts on the vehicle. So the estimated services on a high usage scenario, you're going to do about 6 per year on a combustion vehicle, 2 on an electric vehicle, 4 on a combustion vehicle for medium usage, 1 on an electric vehicle. And the same 1 would apply if you're in a low usage scenario, because you do have to service at least once a year in the Ioniq EV. So looking at the cost there, for the 1.6 liter combustion sedan, it's under $10,000 a year. Hybrid is under $9,000 per year, and the EV, even for the high mileage, is still just under $2,000 per year. So doing that same calculation of the number of services and the price of those services, you can see that the EV is consistently the winner. In fact, for the last two scenarios of 20,000 and 10,000 a year, you're looking at under $1,000 to do for the whole year of servicing on the Ioniq EV. It's just one service. So we've added those costs up for you for all three models. And for fuel and maintenance, you're looking at a significant reduction by using the Ioniq EV. So we've broken that down for you on the right hand side. In terms of the fuel, just by switching from a 1.6 liter sedan to a hybrid model, you're going to drop your fuel bill by about 40%. And on an EV, you're going to be much closer to 90% reduction in, we're saying fuel, but of course the energy costs, your electricity costs that you would get through your residential service. In terms of preventative maintenance, and of course the EV is the winner there, preventative maintenance, an 8% reduction in preventative maintenance costs by going to hybrid, but a whopping 84% reduction on the EV. And again, the EV is the winner there. Totaling that up, just by switching from a 1.6 liter combustion sedan to a hybrid, you can expect a 28% reduction in your total cost of ownership downwards, as well, and an 87% projected reduction in the total cost of ownership by shipping to EV. Thanks, guys. I hope this was useful information.
Right, guys. So if y'all have any questions, leave it in the comments. Today we're going to discuss of owning an Ioniq EV. Today we're going to discuss the cost benefits of owning an Ioniq EV.